The U.S. has just experienced the largest prisoner release in U.S. history. Tens of thousands of low-level, nonviolent drug offenders have started to be released back into the public. Now, that does not mean what people seem to imply it means, which is that they opened up the gate and then just started shooting people out. They're put into halfway homes. Many of them had already been in jail for 6 months, years at this point. But many are being released. Some people are pissed. One of them is Bill O'Reilly. He has a different solution for the glut of nonviolent, low-level drug offenders we currently have in prisons throughout the U.S., and you're going to hear about it in this clip.
And Jen, I'll remind you, in Singapore, they have no problem. Why? They hang them. Oh. They hang them.
Okay, but we're obviously not suggesting that as the answer
I don't know. I mean, look, Singapore at one time had the most pernicious opium problem you could possibly have. It destroyed their entire society. So they said, you know what? We're not going to have this anymore. And that's what they did. Bingo, no drug problem.
Yeah, these guys aren't selling dime bags or joints.
But in Australia, they had a gun problem. They took away all the guns. No problem. We're not doing that. I mean, we can't.
All right, okay.
Jessica, they're gonna go out. They're gonna commit more crimes.
So here's the solution if you have people that have a drug problem and they're addicted to something and they need help. Just shoot them, and then you won't have a drug problem in your country anymore.
Exactly. Or don't even waste the ammo. Just hang them right there. And it's hilarious because other countries do this. I mean, I've told the story about like when I arrived in Egypt for study abroad, they have a big sign in the airport. It shows like a symbol for drugs and then a symbol of somebody being hung. So you know not to sell drugs there. Not exactly my idea of the U.S. or something we should emulate.
So why do we have a war on drugs? What was the whole purpose of the war on drugs, right?
To save America's youth.
No, the war, well, yes, that's part of it, but you want to protect Americans, people in general, right, from drug abuse because drugs will ruin their lives, okay? It'll eat away at them. They can't be productive members of society. So in essence, the war on drugs was sold to the American people as an effort to protect people, right? And Bill O'Reilly, who's a huge advocate for the war on drugs, which was a huge failed policy and continues to be one, is saying that he wants to protect Americans by killing them if they have an addiction problem.
There was at least one person on the show, this breaks my heart, but Andrew Tantaros is just, he's saying, yeah, we should just kill them all, kill them all. Yep. They're not just selling dime bags, they're going to go out there, they're going to commit more crimes. Look, there probably is going to be some recidivism because when you put people in jail for bullshit reasons like possessing or distributing a small amount of drugs that don't do any damage to anyone, and then they get hardened in prison, maybe they will then go out and commit more crimes, which is certainly a tragedy. That's why we don't just release them into the inner city. We put them in halfway homes. We have them keep in touch and all that.
Another reason why they're more likely to commit crimes is not only because they become hardened criminals while they're in our very questionable prison system, they come out and they're considered convicted felons who can't get jobs, right? They have to report that they're convicted felons, and who wants to hire them? No one.
Now, thankfully, Obama came out today and said that he's against the box where you have to say if you committed those crimes in the past, which is certainly a good thing.
I'm glad that he waited till the last year of his presidency to fight for that. But
bold, eventual change. So Andrea Tantaros disappointed me there. She's obviously thinking about the future of her career. She doesn't want to piss off Billo. I did like that they had the Democratic strategist there who said, you know, they also, by the way, took away all the guns in Singapore, but he's not advocating for that. So he's picking and choosing. And by the way, I did a little bit of research into Singapore's policy on the killing the low-level offenders. I don't know a ton about drugs and the numbers and everything, but I looked up the numbers for marijuana. And the death penalty was if you had 500 grams of marijuana, which I have heard is a very large amount. It's not a joint. It's not a dime bag, whatever you want to say for the drugs. It was actually a very large amount.
Right.
The idea that we would import that without any further critical thought, and he's going to say he's not actually advocating for it, but you saw there. And if you watch the full clip, they go back to it a couple of times, and he keeps saying, look, maybe they have something. Maybe we should kill them. And here's the thing. If you did kill people for selling a joint, it would lower the amount of drugs probably. There'd still be drugs in the black market, but it would lower it. So then why not do it for everything? If you fucking jaywalk, let's shoot you right in the street, right there.
You break any law, that's it.
Yeah, if we want people to act right, let's just fucking kill them if they break the law. He doesn't actually want that. If you call up one of your producers and say that you want to take a falafel to him in the shower, well, we don't want people doing that. That's going to ruin families. Why don't we just fucking kill you if you talk about your falafel?
No more falafel talk for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've had your last ball. That comes in ball form, right?
This it was pretty. It shows, I think, the mindset that Bill O'Reilly had when it comes to something like this. His thought is, these scary, because I listened to the whole ridiculous segment. He said, these guys have to be violent, these drug dealers in the streets, because they're protecting their product. They're fighting their gang wars. He mentioned stuff like that. So he doesn't realize that there's these people called drug dealers that exist on college campuses.
Yeah.
They're white guys. They're every race. They're Asian guys. They're black guys. They're white guys. They're Latinos. There's drug dealers of all kinds because they can make money. And the reason they can make money is because the shit's illegal. And the reason that violence comes up is because the shit is illegal.
Yeah.
Violence broke out when alcohol was illegal. The Coors and the Budweiser guys aren't shooting each other anymore. They're just putting it on our TV to sell it.
Aren't there alcohol dealers on every street corner? Like, don't you see them in Compton, like every street corner, just trying to slang that alcohol?
Yeah.
So his mindset of who he's hanging are not the kids at Cal State that are selling, or at MIT that are selling this shit to these other kids that are there.
Cal State, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When a banker.
What about USC?
There's no drug dealers at USC.
I don't know much about USC, honestly. Yeah, when like a banker does like a line of coke off of like a stripper's ass, does he think he's getting it in the hood? No, he's not. He's getting it from some white person in a suit.
Yeah.
If you go to the faces of meth, I'll give you a little preview of what you're gonna see. Photoshop some holes onto my face. It's gonna look something like me. That's the faces of meth with a little bit less hair and 1 or 2 fewer teeth. It's not all fucking black people. It's not all minorities. It's not all poor people.
Yeah.
People selling Oxycontin and stuff like that, that stuff is also an illegal drug when you don't have a prescription for it. It's incredibly popular. We don't hang you for it.